Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites coming in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America, which is spiritually called Saddam in Egypt in the scriptures, and also Babylon. But first and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Harakah Quadash, and double honor to the apostles and the others at GMS and the Akim, pushing this word of truth and its sincerity. So, hey, Tawadi Ab Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai for allowing us to come out another week and preach this truth that he has granted us. So you know, we're out here while preaching this truth, while everybody's partying, you know, not seeing what's going on. Everybody, for sure, most of the people have already got the vaccine. They're not wearing masks. Everybody is with the vaccine. They're not against it because everybody wants to go back to normal. Everybody wants to go back to the way it was before this pandemic. You know, so people out here partying like nothing's going on. Meanwhile, Russia is over here about to attack Ukraine. Russia threatening America, saying don't cross that line. Wars, rumors of wars. People unable to get food. The famine.
There's Ecclesiastes 7:7. It says, surely oppression make the wise man mad, and the gift destroys the heart.
Hey, yeah, sure, the oppression making the wise man mad. Hey, we know we're being oppressed. This is oppression. These people don't know that they're being oppressed. They're under a very powerful spell that Esau has cast. They've been blinded. Ultimately, they've been blinded by the Lord to be given over to the philosophies, the doctrines of Satan, of this world, of America. So these people are completely overtaken by spirits. They're not trying to follow the ways of the scriptures, the ways of the Most High, because they've been given over to Satan. And if they don't repent, they don't turn back to the Lord, hey, they're destined for destruction. Two-thirds of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are destined for destruction. You know?
Gift is destroy the heart of these people. Here it is, the government giving people this free money on the stimulus checks, and they think everything's good because of these stimulus checks, you know, because of that free money. They think that everything's going to go back to normal, but in all reality, this is all by design. Okay, they want you people wearing masks. They want you people social distancing. They want these places to be closed or you know, the way they are looking good, you got little borders. Because what's to come is a collapse in martial law. Okay, yeah, they're opening little things up here and there, but in all reality, it's going to all close down soon. That's what tells you in Ecclesiastes. You know, that the doors of the street should be shut. You know, but yeah, I had some people but I have this right here. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 9. It says that this is a rebellious people, blind children that will not hear the voice, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which said to the seers, which were the seers, they were the ones prophesying, before they were called prophets, they were the seers, because they had visions, they could see the prophecies, right? Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us some small things, prophesy deceits. You know, nobody wants to hear the truth. Why? Because the truth hurts. These people want to continue on and follow them, because if everything's going to be okay. But in all reality, destruction's coming. Okay, the judgment of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, which is the big picture. You got people bugged out. Cracked out.
right in the middle of the town. Nobody says nothing. There's no laws. Nobody says nothing. People are openly doing drugs. They're all openly getting cracked down. Right? You have people that get pissed, bro. Here it is. It's like 1 o'clock, man. Everybody's packing up the bars right now. You get these people start fighting and shit. Hella early in the day now. Hella early in the day now. Looks like fucking Cancun out here right now, man. It looks like spring break.
Ezekiel 21:9, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter.
Yeah, because these other nations, China, Russia, Iran, they've been getting their artillery capability, their military capabilities up, man. While America's sitting here partying, worrying about transgenders in their military. You know, we have to make military gear for pregnant women now. So while America's over here bugging out, these other nations are getting ready to fucking eat this place alive, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and America has been losing every exercise against Russia and China that they've been having. So America's getting smacked on all sides. And they want to make armor for pregnant women. Fucked out. And you got trannies all up in the army. Hey, America's army is fucking through, man. They're gonna get smoked. What are the Russians doing? They're jumping in ice cold water. They're training.
The Russians outlawed homosexuals in their country, and you know why? Because they see what's going on in America, and they see all the madness. They're not with that shit. They want their military to be strong, right? You got a bunch of trannies and homos and women all over in your military. Your shit's gonna be whack, man. Might as well be.
Shot at with live rounds.
Yeah. They literally shoot each other with that song.
Showing you they're testing out their advanced armor and weapons.
And the Lord put a different spirit on them, man. The Lord put a different spirit on them. Yep.
This is Ezekiel 38.
Oh, you know what? The EU is bugging out like America too. The EU is fucking crumbling. Why? Because the Lord's raising up these other nations to destroy the beast. That's why this is happening.
This is Ezekiel 38, verse 1. And the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And say, thus saith the Lord Power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, I am against the evil God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put thus in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor.
And so you see that happen. That's why they're taking over Ukraine right now, right? Because they're building up their power structure. That's why they're getting close to Turkey, because eventually Turkey's going to side with Russia. Because all these countries see that America's getting super weak, man. Even the European Union sees America getting super weak, man. Hey, Russia's threatening the EU too. Russia said, if y'all fuck around, I'm talking about that red line. What do you think that red line represents, man? That's that nuclear line, man. Because Russia has been advancing their nuclear capabilities this whole time, while America's been worrying about race politics and whether transgenders should be in the military or not. So while America's bugging out and the EU is bugging out. These other countries are preparing for war now.
It says, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handled with swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah at the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with him. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Yep. So that's what that sharp sword is being purposed for now. Alright? And Russia's going to be a guard unto these different countries like Iran and Syria, right? Because this thing is hey, what do countries fight over? Have resources. Ukraine has oil. Iran has oil. Syria has oil, man. Alright? So Russia gets a big economy boost by signing these different entities, man.
Well, Iran produces the most, what do you call it, in their string. They're producing more than what do you call it, and then what happened with Iran recently when Israel destroyed one of their facilities, Iran said, you know what, we're going to turn up our nuclear harvesting to the maximum level. So they're just pumping all kinds of nuclear energy right now. And what's that for? To sell to their allies in Russia to produce more nukes. And you can produce all types of energy from nuclear energy. You can create different kinds of energies to move tanks, move aircraft, okay? And a lot of the missiles that Russia has, they're strategic. Meaning you can move them on the vehicle. You know, they have launch pads and they have rockets. You know, they don't need just a silo destroyer. They could have a fucking missile being moved by a truck somewhere you don't even know where it's at. That's why the scripture says, man, 200 million warheads are going to get this fucking missile. A lot of missiles, man. Think about it, man. Me and the brother were talking about how it was Satan 2. Satan 2 is just one missile that you could equip like 20 warheads and destroy a big ass country the size of Texas. A state the size of Texas. You look at the population of the state of Texas, that's billions of people, man. Tens of millions. You know? Tens of millions of people, man. That's high level destruction.
Yep. And why? Because the Lord's looking down upon the earth and seeing all this madness going on. The Lord is angry. He's tired of these Edomites and these nations, and you two-thirds doing whatever the hell you want to do. Alright? We can say that. We can talk about that. We can say you two-thirds. Why? Alright, because it tells you in the scriptures that the end will come when the word will go throughout the four corners of the earth, so that there wouldn't be an excuse. That there was a place of repentance on these so-called Black Hispanic Native Americans. And those of you that understand,
against the mountains of Israel, which have been always wasted, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely all of it. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands and many with these things. Thus saith the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think in your thought. And thou shalt say, I will go out to the land. I will go to them that are at rest.
Yeah. Hey, because what? Nobody's worried about war. Alright? You know what they have? When you watch the mainstream media in America, the biggest talk is these different shootings, cop shootings. But what the mainstream media don't bring out the Putin is threatening America and the EU. Why? Because they don't want you to think about that stuff. Alright? Because then they know that you people start bugging out, man.
The last thing they want is for the Americans to see. Because of the autonomy to come and storm the fucking why don't you? People in the camps, the last thing they want is white trash.
Because what are they going to do in March? Oh, they're going to bring in all these foreign troops. Come and mow you people down, man. Put you in camp. New World Order, man.
It says, I will go up to the lands of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. All of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil, and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. Sheba and Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, thou come to take a spoil. Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil?
It's going to be like that movie Red Dawn. You're going to have Chinese and Russian troops out here running amok. Korean. All these nations that hate you Americans, man. Alright, the elite are going to bring them in to fucking run amok out here.
Not to mention all the sleeper cells we got. You know, the Alpha went into other Soviet sleeper cells here. That went to, I believe they went to him for training because he knows like some kind of martial arts. So they went to him for some kind of training. Like some like personal needs, right? It wasn't like a whole group, but they gave him a skill. They were here as a mercenary type.
What do they use? What do they use people like that for? For these different protests that go on, they'll have ski masks up and go burn buildings down, smoke people, and then blame it on somebody else. You know, it's all for the different psychological operations to get people pushed in the direction that they want you to go, man.
Yeah. During Hurricane Katrina, and they were saying that there was people like cops going around smoking people. You know that was going to be happening when all hell breaks. They're going to have these mercenary groups. You got the Blackwater mercenaries and these other ones. They're going to go around killing people. They showed in that movie on YouTube. What's it called? Yeah, Bushwick.
That was actually they were because Texas was rebelling.
That was about something more. Well, that's why they're pushing. That's why they have all these different terrorist groups on the list. And that's why they're pushing these different things out there. All right, so that when America erupts into civil unrest, okay, they can bring in those troops to basically take everybody down, man.
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, and verse 68. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord."
That's Jacob's trouble. That's why here in America they make Jake look out to be the enemy of the menace to society, man. Enemy of the state.
That's why the asses are going to start blaming so-called black supremacists.
That's why they got y'all rioting, getting all riled up, and having cops shooting so-called black people all the time, and getting you to go out and demonstrate, march and everything, and so that they can paint the picture that you're the problem.
And they're not just doing it against Judah. You know, they're also doing it against Gad, Issachar, and the northern kingdom. Because behind the scenes they're going all these reservations, passing bills and making mines, oil on the land. Then they're blaming all you northern kingdom for being illegal immigrants and rapists.
Yep.
It's not just happening in Issachar. You know, like I mentioned before, it's actually going on in Florida too. When they be taking votes and they receive fire and sea coyotes bringing them in. So it's not just Issachar and Zebulun. You know, it's all the tribes they're demonizing, you know. And they're going to blame you when all this goes down. You know, when you start to rise up and say, fuck it, then they're going to label you terrorists. And they're going to come to the troops.
That's that scripture that says, "Who will rouse them up?" That's why Judah's doing everything that they're doing. You know, and who's rousing them up is first and foremost is the Lord. Yahweh Shai, but using Esau to do all these psyops to get y'all bent up and come out and you know. That's why they're pushing all this race politics, man. So they can be like, look, it's you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the most racist people on the planet.
Just like Nero,
This is 2nd Esdras 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when this evil shall come?
Yep, and it's going to happen everywhere. See, that's why you got to understand that America is not ran by a government. The government's actually ran by corporations. All right, and all these different banks. And these elite bankers, they have all these different countries in their pockets, man, because they're all in debt to them, man. That's why it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, the elite are literally controlling everything through the power of Yahweh. Okay, the Lord set them up like that. You know? The Lord set them up to have power like that, man. And America is basically the shining star of his new world order, man. That's why it's so plugged out here. All right, you have all these nations here gathered together. You have all these different philosophies and doctrines. All right. This goes back to Luciferianism, who is thou wilt. You know,
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourging. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
We have something available called the Federal Reserve, which, when you think of the word federal, you think of the government. But the Federal Reserve is actually a private-owned entity. It's privately owned. And what the Federal Reserve does is just prints money. All right? That's how you get stimulus packs. That's how you get these different bills, trillions of dollars in them, all these different relief funds. And the Federal Reserve is just printing money. That's why the prices on everything are rising up. Because they're printing so much money right now. Right? Think about almost 400 million people in America. You got to give everybody these different stimulus checks. That's money being printed. That's what's raising the prices on everything. All right? And when the economy collapses, that's all hell's going to break loose. And that's when all these evils are going to really start taking place, man. All right? Civil unrest, people murdering each other in the streets. All right? It's going to be wild, man. All right? Because the economy is going to break down. And when that happens, all these different economies around the world are going to break down. And they're going to bring in a new currency, all right, which they're already dealing with. You see Bitcoin and all these different cryptocurrencies and stuff. All right, they're going to come out with a whole world, one world currency for everybody to deal with.
Yeah, more proof that the elites run this place is when JFK got shot, he was actually going to end the Federal Reserve. He was going to enact Executive Order 1011 that was going to end the Federal Reserve because it's a private bank. It's not owned by America. And what happened? They killed him because he wasn't going to the according to plans of the elites. So that's proof that America is owned by an outside, a shadow government of the people that run the world, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the elite families that run the world, that own everything. Back in 2nd Ezra 16 and 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
Yeah, that's because the Lord is angry, man. All right? The reason why the so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans went into slavery, all right, all these things happened to you because you transgressed. Because you didn't follow law, statutes, and commandments. All right? You were dealing with these other nations, going into idols and everything. All right? When we're supposed to be worshiping Yahweh by Shemel Shah the whole time, man. All right? Keeping his ways. All right? So this, everything that's happened to us is according to a punishment. See, now the whole world is engulfed in wickedness because the wicked are ruling the earth. All these different rulerships that have happened throughout the ages have all gone down because of wickedness, man. You look at the Babylonian Empire, what were they doing? Worshiping all these gods, all right, doing all kinds of lucked out shit. There's all kinds of madness going on. The Egyptians were all into homosexuality and all kinds of weird stuff, man. All right, when it said the Greeks came in power, it said wickedness, started to excel in the earth, man. Now you have, basically, this is Rome all over again. You have the Greeks ruling again, all right? And so now this is what you have, all right? Now everything is completely out of order. Everybody's doing whatever they want to do, but that's not the way it was intended to be. Alright, so now judgment's coming. Alright? The true name of the Lord is Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh Son, the Most High is the Son. Alright? They created the earth to to be governed a specific way, man. They created the Israelites to govern the world underneath them, right? So these other nations are basically out here doing whatever they want to do, stepping all over the Israelites, all right? Now we're waking up to who we are, and Yahweh is getting ready to deliver the elect, all right, and bring punishments upon the wicked, man. And it's going to come in the form of famine, war, all right? That's why the Lord is stirring up these nations to fight against each other, man. All right?
So there's this article, it's on endoftheamericandream.com. So how Esau has ruled the world, he's ruled it in wickedness, everything's all polluted, the animals are going extinct. So there's trillions of microplastic particles are in our air, our water, and our bodies, and they are literally destroying the earth. No matter where you go, you won't be able to escape the nightmarish plague of microplastic that is absolutely devastating our environment. Microplastics are in the air that you breathe, they are in the water that comes out of your faucet, they are in the rain that falls from the sky, and there are countless microplastic particles inside your body right now. So how Esau's ruled the world, hey, he's done it in wickedness. Here it is. He got all the technology to give clean energy, to keep the world as clean as possible. But he does the opposite because he's a destroyer. Everything he does is to destroy the Lord's creation. He's contrary to the Most High. So he does everything in wickedness on the left-hand side. You know?
Yeah, here it is. All right, plastic is the worst thing ever created, man. That's right. That's why you got, here it is. You got plastic. You breathe it in, you drinking it, and that's not. You got all kind of shit for breathing in and drinking and eating, man. The devil puts all kinds of chemicals and everything, additives, preservatives, right? And he'll give you plastic bottles so that he can sell you water in bottles and tax you for it, man. He'll give you a plastic tax. Alright? And then when you look at the ocean, it's covered in fucking plastic, man. And they're taxing you for that shit. You're actually paying, alright, for this devil to destroy the earth, man. That's how wicked this guy is, man. There's all kinds of chemicals and shit being sprayed in the air all the time. Everything is to kill you, man. Alright? Population control. Esau's fucking game, his gimmick is death, man. Alright? While everybody's partying and having a good time, this devil's just cooking up ways to kill you people even faster, man. Look at how quickly, look how early people, you have little kids getting cancer, man. Little kids get cancer. All these different sicknesses and diseases out here, man. That's because the earth is being ruled by the wicked, man. And he don't give you the right way to correct the ailment, which is through the herbs. Instead, he gives you his so-called Western medicine, which does nothing but kill you, even relieve the symptoms, but kill you in another way, man. You have fucking proven, people that have big cures of different illnesses through the herbs, through fasting and different things like that. Alright? But Esau will tell you that that's bullshit. Esau will tell you that that's nonsense. The only way for you to kill yourself is for him to pump you full of poison. Alright? And then you get more fucked up from the goddamn chemical therapy, the chemotherapy, than you do from actual cancer. Your hair falls out, you get all sick, you get all messed up, and then you got to take medication to counter all different types of side effects that the radiation therapy did to you, right? Because it's all about keeping you in the healthcare system.
All these diseases go back to the standard American diet. The shit people eat, everything's got sugar, carbs. Everything's garbage, got all kinds of chemicals in it. It's to keep you sick, to keep you going to the doctor, to get these pills. Psalm 82:5, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Yeah, so how Esau's running the world, hey, everything's out of course. Everything's fucked up. Everything's going extinct. Everybody's in depressed mode. People are on antidepressants, suicidal. Because everything in this world is messed up. It's ruled in wickedness, so everything's messed up.
Your life is nothing but oppression, man. You got your woman ruling over your children, acting crazy, right? You gotta fucking go to work, all right? Slave away at a job, the devil will rob you, right? With taxes and you know, all this other nonsense he has out here. All these bills you gotta pay, insurance and all this other stupid shit. He actually has a mandatory healthcare thing where you have to be on some kind of damn healthcare plan or you get penalized for it, man. You know? So here it is, your life is ruined. The only thing you have to turn to is what? Right? Alcohol and drugs. You know? That's why these people are fucking out here partying and shit, is so they can forget all the hell that they go through in their daily life, man.
Scripture.
Yep.
This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me melt? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? You know, so surely the things that Esau had unrighteously turned right side or upside down, it's going to be esteemed as a potter's clay, like clay. A potter can fashion that clay to whatever he wants. So as though Esau fucked it all up, the Lord, he's going to fix it. Okay? He's going to reform it back to the way it was supposed to be. All right, all the shit that's going on wickedly, the Lord's going to cut it off. And then from what remains, which is the elect, we're going to establish righteousness in the world, man. We're going to turn everything that's been upside down, right side up, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know, that's what we're set up for, to be judges of the earth. You know, when you look at the word Elohim, it means gods, but it also has similarities. It means angels, powers, and judges, man. You know, which Esau is that unrighteous judge. He's the wicked.
Society's getting ready to be melted down and reformed, man. It's like a part of the place. This place is literally going to get melted down and reshaped. Alright? Right now we have to, you know, subdue this. And our job is to push this message out. But there's going to be a time when the Lord's going to bring judgment upon the earth, man. Right? Everybody that's doing wickedness is going to be judged, man. Everybody that ain't right is going to be judged. Right? So while you're having a good time, judgment is on the way, man. And the Lord is bringing it by the sword, by famine, by pestilence, okay? Ultimately by nuclear missiles. Alright? He's bringing the RFID microchip, which is to try those that dwell on the earth. Right? That's a trial, man. Because his word is rolling throughout the earth. And you got all these people calling themselves Israelites now. So the Lord is going to bring a test. And see who's really right.
Alright, this is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Hey, the Lord got spirits that the Lord's going to hide, man, and keep safe. Right? Because he knows us. He knows our works. He watches us daily, man. He watches us. We got angels watching us 24/7, man. Alright?
The Lord is going to deliver the majority of the brothers, man. Think about it, there's 144,000 brothers, right? Some got to get spiritual power. Some got to be like when it comes to the brothers that are going to be martyrs, that's not all the brothers think. You know, I believe the majority are going to just. A lot of brothers are going to get power. A lot of brothers are just going to be showed out in favor and mercy. And then when it comes to the martyrs, you know, I don't think it's going to be a lot of brothers going to have to look at that.
But what I do see happening is everybody being indirectly affected by the chip.
Oh man, we're gonna all be affected by it.
Because you're not gonna be able to buy solar trade without it. So you know what I mean? You're gonna have to completely rely on Yahweh outside, you know, to be delivered from these different situations we're gonna be in. So the Lord can deliver you from a microchip, as in like you ain't gonna be in a fucking room waiting, you know, this devil trying to get you to take it. But everybody is gonna be indirectly affected by it. You know, in some way, shape, or form.
And he said he's going to keep you from the hour of temptation. So no matter what you go through, no matter what temptations you go through, he's going to keep you from it.
Yep.
He's going to keep you from receiving it.
And it's going to be rough because the majority of these people are going to take it. So you're going to literally be a fugitive, man. You're going to be labeled a terrorist, a nutcase, a loony. You know? Because you people are being conditioned to trust the science, man.
Verse 11, it says, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Yep.
Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power. And he shall go up and out. And I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power.
Hold that fast which thou hast, which all of us, you know, at this point should have one thing in common, which is the fear of the Lord. Alright? And the understanding of good and evil. Alright?
It says, him that overcometh will I make a temple, make a pillar in the temple of my power. And he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power. And I will write upon him my new name.
That new name is the new covenant, man. We're going to be changed. Yep. You know, we're going to be perfect. We're going to be God. We're not going to sin ever again, man. And the world is going to be compassed without righteousness. Alright, so all these other nations are going to be subject to the five statutes commandments. Alright, see, that's the new world, that's the real new world order that's coming. Alright, Esau is going to be destroyed, man. So if you're down with this system, you're going to go down with it. Alright, these nations are being stirred up to go to war with each other, man. Alright? And the Lord is stirring them up, alright, to destroy each other for a punishment. You know? That's why, you know, all these things are happening. All these evils are brewing up in the earth. Alright? Because Yahweh is getting ready to judge the nations. We're almost in that time, man. In fact, we're pretty much there. You got things happening. You know, Russia's threatening Russia's making big threats. Right? Because these other nations are tired of Edomites, and these other nations are tired of the beast. They're sick of it, man. They're tired of being under the rule and the control of the devil, man.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, or in my land.
To plead with them, that means he's going to judge them, right, for all the unrighteousness that they've done to us. Because they made a league with each other, man. They made a league with Esau. These other nations, all white, these different nations, man. Alright? They're actually confederate with Esau to destroy you, take you down now.
Yeah, Psalm 83 says they are confederate against us. And that's why they got the UN, you know. The UN was set up so that if Israel ever came into power or was going to come into power, they would assemble against it. That's why the UN is going to fight against the war too. Esau is going to fight against all these other nations.
All these nations are gonna, they see it, they're gonna turn their guns to the war.
This is Psalm 83 and 1. Keep now thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power.
Yeah, see, that's why the elites are tripping, man, because you see, just regular ass looking people popping up out of nowhere, alright, speaking on things that have been hidden for a long time, man. That Esau did everything that he could to hide. You got all these regular ass people, even these other nations, they don't know what's going on. But that veil, that darkness is being lifted by us, alright, through the spirit of Yahweh our side, you know, by speaking these different things. Alright, and the heads of these nations, they see what's going on, man. Alright, Esau, Edom, the elite, they see what's going on, man. Alright? These regular people, they don't know what's going on, man. They're in darkness. Alright, but we're saying these things and it's coming to pass. We're saying these things and it's actually manifesting, you know, right in front of us. Alright, everything is being revealed.
This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 9. It says, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their bodies to be put in graves. I'm going to jump to the point. Verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them.
Yep, which is all, right? Because the majority of these people, they don't see us, man. But the ones that can see, all right, the illuminated ones, they can see it. They see us. That's why the majority of these people, they talk and they laugh and they, you know. But the elites, they actually see it.
They actually understand.
Yep.
Fear is following them because they know this is prophecy. Once the elect is sealed, they know that they're going into slavery, man. So they're in terrible fear. Okay? That's why he doesn't want, you know, to just unleash this chick. But the spirit is moving him to do it. Esau wants to drag his feet. He wants to split the but the spirit is making him move. He thinks he's taking his time. The Lord is moving him to do exactly what he wants.
This Baruch 2. O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh our power, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness, and according to all that great mercy of thine. And thou spakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, if he will not hear my voice, surely very great multitude shall return into a small number among the nations, for I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. Yeah, so it was prophecy that we were going to wake up in the land of our captivity, which this is going to be the last time we're in captivity before the kingdom of the Most High is set up. You know, we're in Egypt, which is bondage. We're slaves here. We're not free. We're captives. But the Lord, Yahweh Shah, is going to come back and deliver us from here.
about to trip out. What the heck?
So yeah, it was a prophecy that we're gonna wake up, you know, and come back to the knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and know this truth.
That's why I said after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life shall enter into them, which was from 1620 to 1970. And that's when Alpha Pippins came on the scene. It was in the 70s, you know, to teach this truth, this hidden knowledge about the heritage of ours, to our elders and apostles, right, and their elders. And that's the spirit of life, this knowledge. You know, when it goes into the tree of knowledge, or smoking the tree of life, that's that knowledge, man. Okay, because if you have the knowledge, you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you can't die. You keep the knowledge. So that's the tree of life. That's what the Lord, the Heavenly Father, believes to happen. He said it made him a living soul. He was animated. You look at all these other nations, man, they're not animated, man. Okay, they're in their countries, fucking worshiping rat gods, and they dance, there's no rhythm to it, there's no swag, style. But you look at Jacob, especially the brothers of the brothers that are in the spirit. You see the brothers, they got colorful souls, man. They're animated. They're alive.
Yep, in Psalm 147 and 19, he showed the word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them, praise ye the Lord.
And the Lord gave everything to the children of Israel. All his words, his laws, statutes, commandments. He's not dealing with these other nations. That's why in Deuteronomy 76, it says that we're a special people. We're a special people unto himself. You know, he put a special spirit in the children of Israel, so-called black spots.
This Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power.
Yeah, the word holy means separate. He separated us as a special collection. Go ahead.
The Lord Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You know, that's why you look at Israel and they're honored, worshipped